welcome to day two. It was an interesting day one. We went through a fundamental foundational conversation, and then we got our hands into the platform and went through a base level overview of what we're building. Damien, welcome back, my guy. You are a seasoned agency owner, entrepreneur. You've been in the world of software for a long time. But Damien, I'm seeing a lot of new faces here today. I'm looking at the streaming. Do you mind sharing your story one more time?
Oh, oh. Welcome all new folks and those who came yesterday. Welcome back. Hopefully you did your homework because, as promised, I have a bonus for you guys. So quick story, yeah, how I got into this thing. I used to own a credit repair company. Got into marketing automation using a different software back then. Cost a lot of money, and I spent a lot of time. I got really good, and by good I meant I was proficient in about 20% of the software, and then other people started asking me, hey man, how you doing this automation stuff? Like, what are you doing? So I started doing it for them for little to no money at all because I thought I was helping out friends. And then I learned that, oh, hey, people are getting paid to do these things. I should probably get paid too, which led me into the marketing agency. So that's how we got uh, here. Fast forward 18 or so years. We're sitting in an amazing workshop with Paulson and the high level team. So,
Absolutely. And Damien, one of the cool things that one of your cool projects that I recently got obsessed about and really, excited about was your event. I mean, can you share a little bit about Spark? Because I know some of the foundations of what we're teaching on this workshop came from it. So I think it's fair to talk about it. Just want to make sure we plug that in because I know that some people would love that in-person immersive.
for sure. So one of the things after going to over 1,000 events over the past 18 years is that I would see people a year later at these events because some of the stuff, some people you come back to. TNC is a big one. And now the Level Up conference, we're starting to see some, well, we have the second one. So starting to see some repeat faces there. Um, you know, I learned that people we're busy, as an agency owner. It's hard to come back into what your world without trying to implement the stuff that you learn at the conference, right? You might go there, you'll take a notebook full of notes and come back home and be super excited. But then you realize, hey, I got to do all this other stuff too. So it's hard to implement that stuff that you did at the event. And in the agency world, it's the same thing with clients, right? Like we get a new client, we have like this onboarding process and they have these things. And it's like, hey, business owner, you're the only one who knows this stuff out here. We got to get all that stuff for you in order to build the things that we need to do. Well, I got a thing today. I got to meet with these other people today. It's like, okay, we need to sit down with you to get this stuff out. And it's hard to do that sometimes. So what I did was created the Spark Accelerator. It's a 2-day or 3-day with the bonus day immersive workshop where you come with us. You don't leave, or we keep you there kind of late until we get the stuff done. I don't leave until you have these what we say the 5 essential campaigns that every small business should have in their business. You don't leave until those are done in your high level account, live and ready to take paid traffic or organic traffic, however you're driving traffic to these things. You don't leave until those things are done.
This is in person in Arizona, right?
Person in Arizona. So you got to come to me in this beautiful state. Next one's March 16th. The weather is amazing in March. I will probably do like a spring training game or something like that this time because that's what's happening. But yeah, it's 3 days in Phoenix where you come, you learn, you build, and when you leave, it's done. So the next time I see you at an event, I'm like, hey, did you do that thing you told me last year? And you're like, oh no, I didn't get around to it. I'm really looking forward to getting it implemented this year. No, we don't play that stuff. We get the stuff done at the event.
Yeah.
So when you
I love it. I just want to make sure we plug that event in a little bit, just because some people love that in person interaction, the community, and I think you guys are and your team behind you is doing a phenomenal job as well, facilitating it. So, Damien, let's get into day two, man. I mean, let's set the agenda, and we made one big promise, which was it's gonna be heavy. This is not gonna be for the. This is gonna be heavy, so buckle up. Get your notebooks and pads out, and coffee, lunch, whatever. Because this gonna take a little while. And we set the stage yesterday, but give us an overview of what we can expect for day two.
Sure, let me grab this. I'm trying to pull up this other screen.
I'm gonna go ahead and make you a co-host as well. That way you can share your screen anytime you want to as well. Okay, perfect. If you are watching in any of the channels, any of the streaming, give us a one in all the channel comments. So that way it triggers the channel, the platform algorithm to allow other people to know that we're live, plus invites a ton of people similar to you to come join the live as well. So we appreciate the interaction as you go through. And if you have questions, comments, suggestions, as you watch some of these things, feel free to comment that down. I say this almost every event. Make sure you put the city and state you're checking in from. I promise you, you'll meet a neighbor in your city that is in the high level world. We're seeing lunch pop-up groups, dinner, networking events that are just being ran and launched by high level community members themselves. So it's a great way to get connected, especially when the journey of entrepreneurship is quite often lonely. So, anyways, Damien, go ahead.
Great. Let me get this up again. Let's go to day two and what we're covering. And then let me share this screen. Share that slideshow. Cool. So essentially, guys, today, and I'm looking down here because I'm reading at the screen, and I know you guys are up here, so please excuse that. So today we're going to cover the segment. Basically, segmentation, like I told you guys yesterday, is the key to automation. We want to make sure the right messages are going to the right people at the right time. And by asking them the questions and segmenting them, you're able to do that more efficiently and more effectively. So today, that's what we're going to cover, the build out called the segment now. Everyone should have the links. And again, if you guys don't have a high level account, Paulson, there's a 30-day somewhere in here. There's a link to a 30-day free trial. That's more than enough time to get you up and running and to see if this platform is the right platform for you. It is, because we're giving you all of the things. You don't have to build it yourself. Just copy and paste them in. So there's a 30-day trial or free trial link on the asset page. I think it's in the document that we'll share here in the chat with you guys, so you can go ahead and pick that up and follow along with what we're doing today.
Damien, if you go to slide 6, I had added those links there. So feel free to share your screen and show that, and we can refer back to it as needed if people have questions around the trial offer. So just as a part of this workshop, you get a 30-day trial if you are interested, if you're brand new to the world of high level and want to check it out. And the cool thing is Damien's going to give you a ton of resources to get you started, like snapshots and his own intellectual property that he's built over the years, which is a great starting point versus, just coming into the world of high level without a fundamental basis of automation. So this is our 30-day trial. It expires as soon as this workshop is done. So this is limited. We don't normally do this. We typically don't even like trials because we're a product-led company, and we know it's going to take a little bit of time, a whole lot more than 14 days to set up. We know that. So, but either way, most importantly, it's the snapshots, the frameworks, and some of the resources that Damien is going to provide in his team that is really valuable. And the people charge thousands of dollars for those things. Damien's being very generous, so we appreciate that.
For sure. All right, guys. So let's hop into it. Let me bring this back up. Set out of here. Hop into this one. So in the snapshot that you guys got or were able to download, you'll have this workflow in there. If you don't have it yet, you can follow along and watch as we build this thing, or I'll walk you through it. But this one is going to be a little workflow heavy because we're connecting different workflows together to make the whole thing whole. So this is where you got to have your naming conventions in place and make sure you're keeping track of what you're doing, because things can go awry relatively quickly. So yesterday we talked about, let me share the screen again, that, a way to segment your people is to ask them, right? And the normal way, the usual way that we ask them is through surveys. Surveys are cool, but they sound like a lot of work, right? When somebody if you get an email saying, hey, take this survey, or our favorite, right? If you call up maybe like your cell phone company, or one of the companies you pay your utilities to, they're like, hey, would you mind taking a survey at the end of the call? Normally, we're like, nah, I'm good. I'm getting off this thing as soon as I talk to the person, because that sounds a lot of work. So instead of doing that, what I like to do is, quizzes, because quizzes are exciting. People take them all the time. It's one of the things that, people scrolling through social media, Facebook, Instagram, they'll pop on a 3-4 question quiz, no problem. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build out what I like to call the segment. So what it is an 8-question quiz that you're going to get people to take and answer the questions. Now, the old way we used to do this, let me show you guys this by hopping into this link right here.
Thank you for engaging, you guys. I'm looking at the comments. We got a ton of people from all over the world. I mean, Jordan, Bulgaria, Brazil, Florida, Texas, South America, Mexico. We got a big crowd here today. So keep the comments coming. It helps us let as many people know that we are live. So I definitely appreciate it as the host, in a sense, to make sure everybody in the community knows about this. So what are we looking at here, Damien? Do you mind zooming this in a little bit as
Yeah,
well?
let me do that in as well, I think.
Thank you.
How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, this is the old kind of way we used to do this, right? So we have a spreadsheet with all of these formulas to get the answers to, connect. Or once people answered the quiz, there would be some programming inside of Make. It was Integromat at the time. In that, it would do the calculations. It would take the information from the form. We'd extract it from the form. We'd put it into the sheet. And then we take the info here. We have to put it back into Zapier in order to get it into custom fields inside of the CRM. It was not a mess, because it all worked, but you needed to know a lot of things in order to make this happen. So I give you guys this in case you want to go down that route and do the extended manual way. I'm giving it to you here. Basically, how it works is through some sort of programming like Integromat or Zapier. You take the information from the quiz that they're going to give you. Most people use Typeform back in the day because that was really the only option. You take the information from Typeform, push it into Zapier. Out of Zapier, you push it into this Google Sheet. It will populate the answers, and then you zap it back into your CRM, and you put those numbers to the contact so you can decide which one of these things they are, right? Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot of work. It was a lot of work, guys. But this is the blank one. If you want to do it that way, you guys can do it that way. But instead,
you're giving me PTSD with that last 30 seconds of chatting, because I'm a visionary, and I remember in the beginning as I built my agencies, I had to do these things like Integromat and Zapier, and I mean, systems is not my thing. And yeah, thanks for the PTSD. It was good.
You're
It's good.
welcome. You're welcome. If you're shaking, we'll send somebody to go check in on you. But yeah, that's the thing, right? Like before, it was so difficult to try to do a simple thing. Like you see a thing online, you're like, oh man, I want to implement it back to my business. It has to be simple. And then once you get into it, you're like, man, I can't find a single software that works with another piece of software. And so now I got to kind of build all of this stuff myself. The cool thing with high level is you don't have to do that. Like we can do it all inside a high level. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. So coming in, let's hop into the workflow first, right? So yesterday we talked a lot about how to create a form, how to add triggers, how to add conditionals, ifs, and then the reason we have these here.
Do you mind zooming one more time? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think
here, and then let me zoom in here.
Yeah, perfect. Make the other one a little bit bigger.
I think it should.
Oh yeah. Are you able to make that bigger or no? The condition side. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked yesterday of why we put these conditions in, because we want people who've been through this particular workflow. We don't want them to go through it again. So we put this condition here. Now, sometimes people like to take quizzes multiple times. So maybe you don't want this condition here, or maybe you want to add another tag that says, hey, have been through this sequence before, you know that, and let them go through it again. So you might not necessarily want it in here. But a cool thing that you can do is instead of, because you're probably selling something at the end of this, spoiler alert, I'm going to let you guys know, I'm going to pop that in there. You might want to, on this side, instead of removing them from workflow, add another email and just say, hey, I see that you've taken the quiz already. Here's your results. Let me show you how to do that in a second. And then did you happen to miss this offer, right? So if they come in again, they just go into that email and they don't have to go through. It already gives them the result. Okay, that's something that you guys can do different than this one. But let's hop into here. So the tag we have is added to workflow. Yesterday, we also said, as far as the forms go, we want to have that form trigger this workflow. So the segment, because that's the form that we have, we'll save that. And now when you tag them or this form is submitted, they'll come through this workflow. So let's hop into the email. Like we said, we do all of our templates first, and then we come into the workflow and add them inside of the template. So you guys see that here. And then if you go down, you'll notice that all of these things are from the template email. Now, I want to know, again, I'll come down here, has the person completed the quiz? If they've completed the quiz already, I don't want to keep sending them, some of these emails. I want to put them in another sequence. So I'll pull them out if they completed the quiz in a couple days or in a day, because we want it to happen. If not, we want to get them to continue to go through and get these emails.
What about like partial completions, like 10 questions with choices and then one short form field that didn't get answered?
I don't have that in here, but that's a great idea. So I will make note of that. And for when you guys go to download this, because they'll have access to this later, I think, file. So I'll have the updated workflow for you guys with that suggestion from Paulson.
No, you don't have to make any changes. I was genuinely asking, like, if that, because I never fill out ever any short form fields. I will go greatest to the least. If you gave me the choices, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, I'm okay with that. Because I don't.
Well, that's what you're asking in here, right? You're not. This thing is to gather information in the way that I'm going to show you guys in the prompt, because you're not even going to have to create. Listen. When Paulson said he wants to give you guys, make sure you guys get everything. I went through this thing for days. I sent it to a couple of other people, and they're like, "Man, this is way too much stuff you're giving away." And that's like no cap, right? Like this is a lot for people to go through anyway. So you need to kind of take some of this out because this is crazy. So what I did was I said, listen, if I'm going to give them these three workflows, you'll see there's four. There's a bonus one in there for you guys. If I'm going to give these three workflows, I want them to be complete as possible. So you guys, all you have to do is copy and paste something. All you have to do is go and edit the emails. With this, I even created the prompt for you guys to do the quiz for you in your niche. So we're going to get into that in a second. Whole thing. So all you have to do is copy and paste. So let's go back and want to confirm that. So we'll say those changes. Let's hop into the email templates real quick.
And we're inside high level, by the way, for those of you that don't know what we're looking at. Go back and watch day one if you can. All the replay links will be up in all the channels. And we did an overview, kind of a quick walkthrough tour of high level on maybe like 5 or 6 main items that you need to understand concept wise. And I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of features, which will take months to learn, but keep going.
Yeah, so we shorten that down with the snapshots. You don't have to learn all of it. You just got to know where to put what. All right. So let's hop into this first email real quick. So again, this is a when you come into here, you can add a custom value. So it pulls this information from the database. In this case, it's the contact's first name. So you don't have to go in there and put it every time. So when somebody gets this email, it's going to have their first name in it, personalized. Yeah, that's done. So everything in the red is the thing that you want to change in here. Even here, we've added a custom value to link to the form. So you don't even have to worry about where to link the form to because the form's in here in this link. All right. Now, if you duplicate this, you'll have to change this link. But if you use the one that for just one quiz, it's all done for you. All right, it's the custom field for the form. So just come in here, change the copy, make it match to your business, and have a link to the quiz. All right. So let's save this template. When you come in here, there's all these emails. So just hop into each one of these. We won't go over the content too much in the email. But you see here, custom value, name of your quiz, right? That's in there. So the things that we're touching on right now are the custom values, so that you only have to type them in once, and then they're in here for everything that you do, right? Custom values for quiz results, they're all in here, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. All right.
Those of you that might be a little new, just to share mechanics of how email builders and templates work versus you editing email inside the workflow. When you build it in the email builder or templates, you have a lot more flexibility and freedom to customize a lot of different things. And the email builder inside of the workflow is more of like a extractor from the bigger templates and storage and IPs you have. Now, I know some of our internal teams will use the email builder and the email editor, if I may, inside the workflow for like notifications or reminders that are like very short form kind of legs, so you don't have to go back and forth quite a bit. Just so you guys understand the mechanics of how the builder versus the workflow email editor works, just FYI. Sorry, keep going, Damien.
No, that's a great point. We kind of touched on it yesterday. It's kind of difficult adding images and placing them in the right places in the workflow builder. But if you come in here and do the template first, because you're gonna plan this thing out every single time you build a workflow, you'll be able to put things exactly where you want them, so they look exactly how you want them to look when they reach the person. So yeah, that. So you can go through here. You'll see that in this quiz, you want to give them, you'll be this category, or this is the results category, what they're going to be after they finish the quiz. So you'll see the one when we get there in a second. Well, let me hop out of here.
Yeah. And just so y'all have context, for those of you that are watching today for the first time, What we're building out is your welcome flow when someone enters the universe of your business, whether it's through a lead magnet, a purchase, a download, whatever it is, the very first interaction you should have with a prospect in the world of internet, anywhere, even if they're an active buyer or not, even if it's just an interested person, you should have a certain mechanics of a flow similar to this. So what Damien's doing is giving you all of it for free
Oh,
because he loves a high level family. But the real advantage you have is to understand how someone who's very seasoned, and you're watching someone very seasoned build this out. So you have really cool inspirations, so you can develop your own IP on top of it. So just wanted to provide that context of what we're actually building in the grand scheme of things. It's your welcome flow for
mhm.
a brand new person in your world of business.
Yep. And so to speak on that, or on top of that, these are the things that we don't have in place for businesses that have been in business for a while. Or this is like some of the things you heard the phrase, I've forgotten more than you'll ever know, or so, something like that. Like, this is the type of stuff like, man, I know this and I should have it, but I don't because we're busy making money over here. And like, this is just to help you put the fundamentals back in place so that, you can grow your company. You'll see results with this, placing these small things in your business. You'll be
Yeah.
like, oh man, it seems so simple. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't I do that thing? It's this kind of stuff that gets you the results that push you over the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. I mean, as entrepreneurs, we're nonstop looking for Hail Marys and quick
Yeah,
outs to throw, while blocking and tackling is more important. Uh,
exactly. Exactly. As we saw, right, the other night with the game, right? Some of the stuff that was done, just simple stuff, won the game.
yeah.
Not like the new plays, like the trick plays or the newest golden option or whoever has the newest course. All that stuff's great and it's a great addition, but you still have to have those fundamentals. Quick story. So in high school, I believe it or not, I was an athlete at one time. I had a coach. I came in my freshman year of high school to play basketball, and I come in and I was doing all this. I come in the gym. I know I'm like the fastest kid, and I have a little bit taller than most. I'm doing all this like showing off in the scrimmage game, doing all this stuff. No look passes and doing all this crazy stuff, right? Coach Ballard pulls me over and he says, "Hey, here's what I want you to do." And I was killing it, right? Or I thought I was killing it. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go over to the key, because in the gym they have these side hoops, around the main court. I want you to go over there to that side hoop over there, and I want you to start at the first block. I want you to shoot 10 shots from the first block, making all 10. If you miss one, start over from zero. I'm like, but I'm killing it over here. I need you to get over there and do that. So I go over there and I start shooting. Okay, when you get 10 in, go to the next line, go to the next line, go to the next line, go all the way around the key. Then when you get to that side, come all the way back. And then when you do that, shoot 25 free throws. And if you miss one, you got to start back at the block at the beginning. And I'm like, this dude is nuts. Like, what is he talking about? I don't want to do any of this stuff. I just want to play basketball. Like, that's all I want to do. And the lesson there is like you gotta have the fundamentals for none of that stuff matters if you can't make a shot up close, if you can't hit a free throw, if you can't do a bounce pass. None of that crazy stuff matters if you miss. Like what matters is getting the basics down and then doing the more advanced things after you have the basics down. So this workshop and the Spark Accelerator workshop is going around that key, right? We're gonna go around the key. We're gonna make those 10 shots from every single line. And once we have this in place, then we can go and do all that other crazy stuff. All
I
right.
love it. And
Everybody on the same
sorry,
page?
Damien, I didn't mean to distract you, but
No.
at the next high level mastermind, I may have to set up a little hoop session.
Oh man,
That's
you don't want no smoke. Listen, you don't want none of this. I know
all right.
I know
Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
all right. All right. So, guys, you hop in here, like I said, coming through here, you'll change all this stuff. Let's hop into, before we move on, let's hop into the custom values real quick. And you see that we have these here for you guys. These are already here. So all you have to do to change these, you want to change the name of your quiz. Here's what you do. You're logged into your account, come down to settings, hit custom values. You see the name of your quiz. You see the folder that it's in. I have these in folders for you guys and everything. So as you add more, put them in the folders. So you'll come into here, the segment. You'll see the name of the quiz. Come over here, edit the custom value, and just type the name of your quiz here. Best quiz ever. Okay.
And Damien, how do you explain what a custom value is typically?
So essentially, you have a database, right? That has the name and a key. The emails read the key, right, and it replaces it with the value.
Gotcha. So then you don't have to type up all these things every single time, or extract it, or pull it, and copy paste links and all of that.
Nope. So in all the emails that we have in there for you guys, all of the where it says this name of quiz and has this key, when it sends the email, it replaces all that in all the emails for you guys. So you don't have to go in and type it into every single email. Just replaces it in all, I think 13 or 14 of them.
Yeah, give me one in the comments if you use custom values already, if that's part of a lot of your workflows. I'm curious of how many of you are advanced enough to use custom values across the board. Give me a one in the chat, y'all, if you use custom values.
Yeah. So come in here, change all of these. Some of these things you don't need to change, like this, or unless you make your quiz more questions than 8. I think 8 is a really good number. I've tested this. Again, you need to test on your own, but I would start at 8, and then if you're not getting the replies, take it down a little bit or take it up. But start with what we're giving you. A lot of, like we said yesterday, a lot of times we make things super complicated, but let's just start with 8, and then the categories for your quiz results, because they're going to be one of these 4. You can come in and change this and change these. Okay. And then, like I said earlier, I told you guys the segment quiz URL. This is the custom value for that. And this is the URL to the form. Okay. So you guys don't need to change that. All right. So coming back, let's hop into that form real quick. So to get their sites form, or actually it's a survey, because let me tell you guys real quick the difference between surveys and forms. So forms are meant to be like one page, one long kind of form. You can put all the data in one form. You could essentially put this quiz into one form, right? And have people go down the form and fill it out. It doesn't look good on mobile if they have to scroll to complete your thing, or on desktop either, right? What a survey does is allow you to go through different pages, right, as they click through the steps. Now, a valuable thing on here, and is what I was talking to somebody in the group about, there's something about, and I learned this from Digital Marketer and Frank Kern. He talked about it long time ago. There's something about micro commitments and having people say yes along the way. Okay. So every time they click next, that's a micro commitment, right? To saying that's it. Oh, yes, I agree to this thing. Every time they click a link and click next, that's another yes. So it's hard to say no at the end of this thing when you said yes 8 times, right? You said, like in your brain, it won't compute. It's like, how can I say no when I said yes every single time? So this quiz, it allows you to get those micro commitments along the way, and have them say yes so they can submit the quiz. Feel free to use that in other things. You should be using it in all things. I can't wait till we have initial boxes on the proposals because that's going to be great to have them initial on the link.
I mean,
Sean,
even from a sales standpoint, a lot of the guys, even if you're doing like sales over a phone call, you're trying to get micro commitments to smaller objections as you build up your case to do the
yes.
close, right? So even outside of automations, just from practicing in business, like these are strategies you can use across the board.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks, Wilson. So you go through, let me show you how, like, this quiz is all here for you guys. Let me show you guys how you're going to put the questions in. Each of these questions are custom fields, okay? Because we want to store this data on the contact record, okay? So, and I'll show you guys why in a minute. So these are all custom fields that you created, which let's hop into that real quick. I know I'm going back and forth, guys. Stay with me. But the custom fields, let's go to folders. Let's hop into the segment. These are all radio buttons, custom fields, right? So with radio buttons, let's say if I was to add a field, go to radio, hit next. I'm able to say, give me these options for whatever this is. Pick one of these, right? A drop down is another way to do the same thing, but I like the radio buttons in this case, okay? Hey, select one of these options. So when your questions are different, you're just going to come to this radio button, edit it, and change the question with the and the answers to fit your quiz.
And what exactly is a radio button? Like, what does that look like visually?
Let me show you. Let's go back to the survey. So once you create the radio button and pull in, this is what it will look like on the survey or on the quiz. Right.
Got it.
The reason I have survey here, I know it's kind of confusing, is because it's in surveys, not quizzes, but they'll fall in the same thing, guys. But yeah, so you'll go in there, you'll edit that custom field with your question and your answers to that question. And then your quiz is done. Hit save. And now you're done there. But it's like, Damien, can I only send this out in an email? I can't post it on social. Yeah, you can. How you do that is come over to integrations, click on link, and this will be the link to your quiz. Okay. All right. So coming back to the survey. Now, once all that's done, you create your quiz, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. You'll come back into this workflow. Now, let me show you how this is going to work overall and how they get the results. And this is going to be super geeky. So this is like super exciting for me, this part, right? So again, you saw that sheet that we had to fill out in order to get these numerical values for the questions that were answered. The cool thing you can do in high level is have it do that all work for you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Have it do all the works for you. So what happens is somebody fills out the quiz, right?
Can you zoom in if you don't mind again?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys.
All good, all good. Yeah, that's good right there. Go to 120, I think. Or 144. It's good. 144 is good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So they fill out the quiz. We talked yesterday all about segmentation. Add the tag that says they completed it so that you know. It'd be easier to send email to people with tags, say, hey, you completed this thing already. Then let's say you send it to your whole list. They're like, yo, I already did it. Like, you already asked me. Like, I don't want to do it again. So you keep those people out of that email, right? So add that tag. You remove them from the segment. If they have
and can you go back to that step? It looks like you turned on send them to another workflow. Is that right? Right? The workflow right there on the right side. Yeah.
Let me move this out of here.
I just want to understand the concept.
No, I think that is this one. It's not supposed to be here.
And by the way,
No, no. Yes, correct. That's right. Sorry.
okay.
So we're removing them from the initial workflow. This one, because we don't want them to get the rest of these emails because they've already filled out the survey, right? So we don't want them to keep getting emails about, hey, fill out the survey, because they've already done it. So that's why we remove them from that workflow. Okay.
So folks that are in this workflow are folks that already completed everything.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. All right. Now, we say, great. Now, for the people who answered question A, we're pulling this from your custom fields that you created. We're saying, hey, if the person answered A, send them down here. If they'd answered B, send them down to here. If they'd answered C, send them down here. And if they answered D, send them down here. And then we're telling them, hey, once you do that, go ahead and go to the next workflow, which is add the quiz results for question 2. So what high level is doing is going through the contact record and saying, hey, what's the value here? Okay, I'm going to pull that in. And once I know the value, I'm going to assign a point for that answer. Okay. Hopefully you guys are staying with me. I know, like I said, this is getting a little technical and geeky.
It's okay. I asked Damien to go all in depth and speak to the advanced audience as well. So yeah.
So and again, guys, like, it's all here for you. It's all done. So, but what I want to do is go through it so you kind of understand what's happening in the back. Okay. So as it goes through, it's going to go through every workflow here. For every question that was answered, and assign points for the answer that the person selected. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now something happens different in 8, right? Because this is the last question that we asked them. And for you guys who want to do 6 questions or 10 questions, you'll either duplicate these, which is real simple to do, right? And then, or take some of these out. But this one needs to be the last number that you guys do. Okay. Keep whatever number 8 is, change it to number 10 or 12, or change it to number 5 or 6, right? But this one has to stay in place. Okay. So once they get here, we go ahead and same thing. We assign the number, the point to the field. So it's high levels doing the math. Every time you add a number, it's saying, okay, this is 2, 3, 4, 5 to that specific field on the contract record.
And so the number that you're assigning is built from a key inside custom values.
Correct. Okay. So the number that we are on custom fields. Sorry, not custom values.
Oh, okay. Custom fields.
So you see that we have, this is the number, right? Was that A custom field, and that's on a contact record. So that number, depending on what they answered, keeps getting added, like add a 1 to this, add a 1 to whatever that number is, right? It keeps adding those numbers up, and it'll place the total in there when it's done.
So Damien, what you're telling me is when people, for the first time ever, come into your world of business, you push them through a survey experience that has a numerical value attached to it that allows you to create some sort of a client scoring system, which then allows you to segment who they are based on the answers they gave you. So then you can follow up with messaging that makes sense for another experience.
Yeah. So check this out. Yes. So then in this last workflow, this is where it gets super dope. So
can you zoom in again? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll remember this by tomorrow, guys. I promise. You won't have to ask me again tomorrow. All right. So once they finish that, they'll come to this questions table, and you'll say, hey, for those who have answered question A, if field A is less than 15, so 1 through 14, based on those answers that they answered, right, assign them to A. If it has 14 or greater than and less than, so we're saying 15 through 23, and this is important, guys. So sometimes in databases, they get a little confused. So I could have said equal to or greater than or equal to 14, but I, I've had an issue, and this is my experience. I've had an issue in the past where the numbers sometimes don't match, and it tries to apply two different numbers based on the logic that the computer is thinking. So I just use less than and greater than. Okay. Maybe your experience will be different. I would say start with this and then move on to those other two. But this has just been my experience. All right.
So
So I'll put
real quick, Damien. Whenever, and I don't mean to interrupt you, I just think
no, you're good. I
clarity.
saw the
So
question.
whenever, let's say I'm designing new questions, give
Yep.
me an example of one question that has two ranges. Because, like, let's say I don't want to use the 8 questions you provided in the workflow and I want to design my own. How do I create a scoring system for the answers? Like, give
Uh,
me an example.
hang on a second. I will give you. We're
Okay.
gonna get
Okay. Okay. Okay.
there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, we're gonna get there.
All right. I'm shooting
Um,
half court shots. Sorry. Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
Folks is like, yo, all right,
Calm down, Paulson.
calm down. Okay, cool. So, so once this is assigned, you're gonna say, hey, if A was that answer, this is the result. This is one of the four categories I want to put them in. I give them cool names: the innovator, the growth guru, the brand builder, the profit pioneer. Now, those
Interesting.
are, like I'll show you in a second. Now you can create a profile around those segments, right? You can say, hey, I have a group of the innovators. Maybe you open up a Facebook group with just the innovators, right? Or you have special messaging for the innovators. The profit pioneer, like by going through your questions, you kind of have a profile of your avatar, right? We talked about avatars yesterday, about who those people are. So you can market specifically to the people that are the profit pioneers. You see how we're building, folks? You see how this is?
Wow. This is impressive. Okay, this so okay, I don't want to interrupt you. Keep going.
Paul has all the questions. All right.
I know. I don't want to stop you in your track.
So you get these. Now you have these different profiles, right? We're gonna come back into the emails. It did all the math. It put them in the right place, right? We're gonna go into the workflow. Actually, let's go into marketing and templates, and let's hop into here, and let's talk about these emails, right? The results are in, right? Yesterday we said, hey, you want to make sure you give people the thing that you promise you're going to give them. So this is exactly how you do this. All right. So you pull, you are, have, need, should, whatever, the contact quiz answer to question A, right? You change this to B or C or D to whatever they are, right? I left this here as a template for you guys, so you can change this how you answer this, right? So you can give a short explanation of what that thing is, right? So if you're a profit pioneer, you create a short explanation of what profit pioneers are in your world, right? Your result of profit pioneer means that you're a highly creative person, yeah, whatever. So you can create a profile around that, put it inside the email, and then you say, because now we want to upsell, we want to sell them something based on what that profile is. Your results indicate that you are maybe hosting a live webinar, or indicates that, this thing is the next best thing for you based on your profile that you created when we took this quiz, right? So you put this inside of the red here, right? Now you can have a full report or analysis, or just create 4 different documents that are these 4 reports and link to one of those 4. You can click here to get that result. Just put the link here, make it a Google Drive document, and that's it. And then now as part of team, whatever it is, right? Because now they feel like now you're part of the community, bring them in. You have access to these different resources, and those resources can be different per group, or they can be the same A lot of people do that too.
And you have this set up for each question, essentially.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Each
That's
question.
it.
All right. And that results in, so that's that email. And then let's go to number 5. Here's just another template for you to let them know that, hey, this is what you were. If you missed it, here are your results. And down here, whatever you upsold them in the last email, you want to do the same thing here. Okay. So now that they've gone through the survey, you sent, or the quiz, you sent them the results. That's that. Okay, great. So now that is that. I'm taking time, so I'm just gonna buy a different app. I don't know. Okay, cool. So now do you have that? So the question that Paulson answered a second ago was, hey, how do we get the questions, or what do we need to do to get the questions? And then, so on this here, make a copy.
By the way, our team put together a customer-facing Google Drive with everything you're getting and you need from the workshop. And we have the link for you. And if you stay through it, I'll just share that link a little later. But this is already available to you, just FYI.
Perfect. All right, guys. So you're like, oh man, I don't know what quiz I'm going to do. I don't know how to put this together. This seems super difficult. Well, we did the first part for you. All you have to do is copy and paste. Okay. So what you're going to do, I created this. This is about the only AI we're going to talk about, I think. But I created this prompt for you guys to just copy and paste. Okay. So what we're saying here, create a personalized, engaging quiz to uncover the unique spirit of your participants, be it crafters, dog walkers, or any niche group. You can answer, and I'll show you the more detailed one because it's in here down below. This is just a random one, right? This is the quiz structure. Design it. Questions that are fun, yada, yada. Give me entrepreneur types. These are the 4 types. It's going to create those types for you. And then this is the instructions for the participants, right? Because this is what you want to happen after. It does the call to action for you, right? So you don't even have to think about the call to action. It's going to create it for you too. This is the specific prompt, okay? Identifying key aspects for, put your specific niche here, right? So if it's consultants or, dentist or whatever, put that here. This is the only, where you see this yellow, that's the only thing you need to change. I don't know why this isn't yellow too, but insert your niche here, right? And it's going to create all of those questions that I created or that I had inside of high level. It's going to create all those questions for you. Okay. And the results. So you don't have to think about anything. Okay. Let me make sure that's yellow there. You're going to take this into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI thing you use. There's a bunch of them. But I use ChatGPT, GPT-4 for this to get this result or the questions that you see in there. Let me just pull that up real quick for you guys so you can see that.
Now, how often do you switch this up? Whenever you have like a seasonal offer or a summertime thing or a holidays thing, do you ever come back into your welcome flow and I guess season it into the
Sure.
time that it's at? Okay.
Sure. So what segmentation allows you to do is get super good with data, right? It's granular. Like it gets down to you can go as deep in the rabbit hole as you want to. All right. So that you're not guessing around numbers. Like if you're getting 20, 30% conversion rate on this quiz, you may not want to change it, but you see a question that people are are answering or whatever, you keep getting the same results. You know a lot more of those people are in your world. So then you can adjust the quiz to focus on more of those people, right? And get more information from those people, or create another quiz to do the same thing. But it allows you, it gives you the numbers to make business decisions, right? We don't just make business decisions based on, well, sometimes we do our gut, but you you want to make sure that the data is driving the decisions. So this helps you get there. So that's when you make the change. Hey, this email's only getting, read by, 3% of the people, and only 1% is clicking through. Well, you know something's wrong there, and you got to make a change in that email. So this allows you to do that.
Absolutely. I think even if you're starting out, don't make the assumption that you shouldn't need data yet. Like you need data early on. And actually, I think that's where it's even more relevant, especially for brand new entrepreneurs. But anyways, let's keep going.
Cool. So let me share this. I'm gonna change this out real quick, guys. So we have the niche.
Are y'all learning out of this? I hope you are. Like, I mean, can we get a temperature check in the room? Like, what are you learning? What are some takeaways? Like, let's pause for 30 seconds. I want to kind of understand where the room is today. I know, let's see. Comment down what's been your aha moment so far. Let's see here.
Gives me time to hop into this as well. Change this up.
Okay. I'm getting a lot of comments. Okay, keep them coming. Keep them coming. All right, everybody's geeking out on the workflow, so let's keep going.
Cool. I'm just changing some stuff out here.
Teresa's asking, why do we store the docs in the Google Drive and not the media library? Great question.
Oh, you could, yeah.
I'm going to talk to the team about that. Thank you. But we do get non-high levelers watching these, programs where they're not able to log in. So, but either way, it's a great suggestion. Thank you. We'll do a Q&A and all that on day 3, so tomorrow. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Cool. Let me change. I'm just changing these niches out real quick, guys, so you can see this prompt.
And I think this applies even if you're building this out for your customers. Like even you're building something like this out for a local business, it still applies. It's not just for, digital citizens that have a lead magnet to give away.
Correct. Yeah. So you see here, guys.
Can you zoom in if you don't mind?
Yeah. Oops. Hold on. There we go. All right. So I just copied and pasted, and I changed the niche in here, right? I just put dog walkers to for the niche. You guys can put whatever niche. I don't know. I was thinking of dog walker. I really want another dog, guys. I haven't had a dog in a couple of years, and I think so. I put in dog walkers and just copy and paste this, and it's going to go through and create the quiz. And all the now I have the pro version. I've had the pro version from the beginning. I don't know if this works in the free version. So just give you that caveat. It should work. But it goes through. It gives you the instructions, gives you the result delivery. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start.
I have a question for you, Damien. What are your thoughts on prompting? Like I'm seeing prompting in itself is becoming its own sub-industry, kind of like copywriting. But like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you feel like the humanized, language is more converting, or do you feel like prompting is probably more converting? Like, what are your thoughts?
So I think we're in a world where if you're in business, this is going to make you much faster. Then like this is going to speed you, like exponentially speed you up, right? Like how long would it take you to come up with 10 questions for this niche? For like come on, you can't do this this is like a once a quarter thing that you put in to your quarter planning, or your quarter rocks. Hey, build another quiz, right? Like now you can do it in seconds. Like you see, this thing is building this thing out in seconds. So I think the prompt is super important, right? Because like any system, bad data in, bad data out, right? If your prompt sucks, then the data coming out is going to suck. So you have to get the prompt right in the beginning. Take your time to get at, like, go through ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using, and have them help you with the prompts, right? Like, make sure you get the right information, because if you don't, the bad information is going to come out. Okay. So that's that. I think the prompt is super important, but you still have to go back in and massage the stuff that's coming out. You can't just use it like, for this type of stuff, like quizzes and stuff. Yeah, you can. But to get that deeper relationship with the person on your contact list, you have to go back in and change the data that comes out.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a place for emotional intelligence, social intelligence, marketing psychology that I feel like prompting and GPTing just is not there yet at our level. But it's really interesting to see everybody's perspective. So once you go through the prompt, what happens next?
Copy and paste it, put in your link. It's going to give you this kind of stuff, the information. This first prompt is to help get the rest of the stuff. So,
so you're going to add this to your email builder? You're going to add this to email builder so that particular avatar receives it and kind of positions you as an expert.
Correct. So you come here. These are all your questions right here. Copy and paste right into those folders. Those copy fields. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Copy and paste. These are all 8 of your questions. Come down here. Based on your responses, they give you the categories, right? Then engage with these questions, real world experience. I think got to keep going. We asked it for a little bit too much.
It's funny how we're getting annoyed how slow AI is going.
Like, man, it took 13 seconds, man. It could take 5. Yeah.
Would have taken us 5 hours ourselves.
Right. So this right here gives you the information to paste on the thank you page, or in the thank you message update to the quiz. So that prompt is there for you guys to have as well.
Okay, love it.
All right, now ready to break. Go do all the things we just taught you. Have a good afternoon. See you later.
Is there anything else you want to share for day 2, or is that really the foundation you wanted to build?
Yeah, that's the foundation I want to build today. Because I knew people are going to have a ton of questions around this one, because it's a lot.
Yeah, so let's do Q&A. What we're going to do is ask everyone to either go to the Facebook group that you're in or the High Level Facebook page, and I want you to put down all your questions, and we're going to go one by one and answer as many as we can. So we are really efficient with time, so we have plenty of time to go through. So let me go ahead and pull up. I don't know what it is. I like pulling up Facebook pages on my mobile nowadays, and I can see the questions while we're live here. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Let me go to Matt Stanley's asking, do you have some kind of a step-by-step checklist of specific tasks we must complete to implement this in our business?
I can get you that. It's in Asana, but I'll make a note of that and get you guys that step by step.
You're getting a ton of compliments on the structure of the automations, by the way. Let's see. Is there a chance to get the recording of this video? Yeah, of course. We're going to put it into the YouTube channel. All of our current social channels, we're live right now. So as soon as we're done, our production team will take it and put it into our YouTube channel so we have it as a evergreen content for all of you. Someone's asking 5 days to find out the things by searching before the internet. So let's go through the questions. Let's see. Um, what I have, someone's saying, well, that's not a question. Let me see. Oh, is there a library of workflows for importing inside high level?
Is there a library of workflows
Yeah,
for
I guess he's asking if they can download workflows from high level library. I think we
No,
have
I
some
don't.
starter kits
Yeah,
that'll
like
get you going,
website.
but it's, yeah.
Go
And
on once.
yeah, let's see. I am a high level user. How can I get this template copied over into my account? So Damien, can you go to um, the Google Drive and go over that sheet real quick, and then let's also talk about the offer we have, so that way non-high levelers can take advantage of this opportunity.
Sure. So hopping into the Google Sheet, you guys will see.
And the link, can you share the link actually in the presentation? So if you, let me see here.
In the I'll stay here.
Yeah, yeah. Let's show slide 6 because that has the
Oh,
resources.
got it.
Drive.
Let me stop that. Go here, share that, share that bigger.
Yeah. So if you already have high level, all you have to do is click on this link at the bottom that says gohighlevel.com/Damien Rufus resources. When you click that, it'll take you to this Google Drive that Damien is going to open, which looks like this. Do you mind going to that tab real quick, Damien?
Uh,
The third one, I believe. Yeah, I mean the fourth one. Yeah, there you go. Now this is what it's going to look like. Now, as we continue developing the content, we may add more things to it, like the checklist, like the gentleman just asked. You may find that in there. But when you click on this Google Doc, if click on it real quick, yeah, click on that. It basically organizes multiple layers of collaterals from day one and day two so far. So can you go to the top and explain every single item real quick so that way everyone's clear on what they're getting? And if you don't
Yep.
mind, again, just zoom into
Make it.
125. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bring me a piggy bank and put $1 in every time.
Yeah. Feel like this is like the Super Bowl and the Taylor Swift. Every time he's here, take a shot. But all right, guys. So the event offer is the free 30-day trial. And again, it's good until tomorrow after the event. It gets you 30 days for free inside a high level. Just click the link. It'll bring you to a page with that looks like this.
Yep.
And just if you don't have an account, new customers, just click the new promotional offer. If you do have an account already, just click the upgrade now button, and that'll get you stuff here. Let me go back here.
All the collaterals. Yep.
All the collaterals. Okay. The event registration. You guys are all here, so you are registered. But you should copy that link, especially if you got some value today. Copy that link, share it on socials, tell your friends to come tomorrow. If you know people who can, use this in their business, or you're helping people use this in their business, you can share the link. They can come and watch, so you don't have to explain all this stuff. I'll explain it for you. Then you can go back and help them implement this stuff. So, you can share that link. These are, some of the things we talked about in the Spark Accelerator. So gave you the cool graphics. I found a super cool guy who hand drew all of that stuff, which is crazy. It was the exact thing that I wanted for the event. You guys can check that out to kind of see what we cover and what some of the stuff means. They're in every one of these docs. And then if you scroll down, they're also here. You get the avatar workbook that we went through yesterday. When creating your avatar, today was a stepping stone to that, and how to further ask the questions to create a stronger avatar. The partnership cheat sheet, we gave you guys that as well. The segmentation, Excel sheet, you guys have that in case you want to do all this stuff manually. Feel free. Actually, let me know when you do it, so I'll send you an ice cream or something, because that's a heck of a lot of work. And then you have the cheat sheets and stuff for tomorrow that are also here. Again, don't go ahead. We talked about this yesterday. Stay with us in the class. I promise I'll explain it all, and we'll answer all of the questions as well. So that's all the stuff you guys have here.
Okay, awesome. So what we're gonna do here is a lot of the questions we had was around that worksheet. I mean, the Google Drive, the collaterals. So if you have questions around the automations, let's post that into the channels, and I'll go through and bring it up to Damien here. Damien, real quick, as I see more questions come in, can you share, how you view high level, the whole SaaS thing versus running as an agency, versus SaaS hybrid agency? Like, a lot of people have questions around that, and I think that all plays into some of the things that we're teaching as well.
Sure. So here's what I think about it, right? Like, a lot of people, you don't have to start out at the SaaS level if you're not ready for that. If you're ready to start an agency, yes, start there. But the cool thing about high level is you can ascend into an agency, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. First, let me tell you how you get high level for free, right? You grab 30-day free trial, and then you go out and talk to, let's say you're in meetup groups or like local networking groups, or you have 3 friends, right, who that may have a business, they have a little side hustle, they have a couple dollars they can put towards this thing every month. You go out to your 3 friends and say, hey, look, I learned some cool stuff over the past 3 days. And I think it'll help you in your business. The stuff's already done. I'm new to this, so it's going to take me a couple days to get it all right for you, right? But now you guys can go back and watch the video 500 times to make sure you get it right. Say, hey, I'm going to introduce this quiz workflow into your business. But in order to do it, I need you to pay me $100 a month for 3 months, right? So you got 3 friends who do that. High level's $297 a month. Pays for your first, second, and third month of high level. The first month, you're going to, hopefully they have a customer list. You're going to send this quiz out to their customers, and they're going to get results, and you're going to be like, see, now we can market to them, and you can use the other cool things inside of high level, because there's tons of them. And they're going to say, yeah, I kind of want to use this in my business. And you say, great. In order for me to do this for you, because I have my own business as well, I can do it on the side. I'm not going to charge you what these big agencies charge you to do this for you every month, because we're only doing a couple things. It's going to cost you $300 to $500 a month. Cool. And will that work? They'll say yes, because they've seen results. You got them results. They say yes. Now you have 3 people paying you $1,500 a month. Okay. Then you go to those 3 people and you say, hey, since we got you results, do you mind? I'm just going to take a quick video of you saying, hey, Damien got me these results. He can help you in your business with this one thing, not 10,000 things, with this one thing. And you're going to start posting that video all over social, right? Now you're still at the 297 joint, right? You start getting more people in, and you're like, hey, I could probably step up to the 497 now, because I'm making a couple dollars, right? So now you're a full-blown agency, because you have all these clients that you're doing this one thing for, right? Not 10,000 different things. You become known as the quiz specialists of the whole world, right? Like the Kansas City Chiefs are the world champions, but they only play football in the United States. It's weird. But like, you're the whole quiz champion of the entire world, right? And you have a full-blown agency at the 497. So you don't have to start at the 497. You can ascend your way to that. And I just gave the blueprint I had to.
Yeah. And then the crazy thing about all of it is everything inside of high level is unlimited. A lot of other
Unlimited, right?
companies, unlimited locations, unlimited websites, unlimited funnels, unlimited automations, unlimited texting. Obviously, you're gonna have to pay for texting from as a business to a
Yeah.
person, and that's what
Yeah.
you have to do on all platforms. We're HIPAA compliant, GDPR, all these crazy things, and then on top of that, you can do mobile apps, you can
Yeah.
do integrations. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it, right? So, but again, like you don't have to start with all of those things, right? You can just start with one thing and then work your way. So if you have, let's say you using my little method that we just gave you, you put 25 people in your class. The high level is gonna bring, or you're gonna fly out to level up. They're gonna give you an award. I should have my, I don't, I should have my award here. They're gonna give you an award that say you built this thing and you're working your way up through high level. Oh, I have it. Uh, you just work. You don't have to start with everything, right? And I think that's the problem. People come in, they see all this fancy stuff that people are doing. They want to do all the fancy thing. This workshop and what I'm about is about the fundamentals. You don't have to have. You can have that stuff later, right? You don't have to have it today. Start out with one thing and work your way up. One take on one. Hey, I want to be better at or helping people send text messages. Great. I want to tell people how to make sure their emails get into the inbox. Great. Hot topic right now, right? A lot of people can't get into the inbox anymore, right? Or they're gonna start not being able to get. I got hit with something the other day on one of my domains. Like things are getting more and more difficult in the tech space. You can help them with that one thing, right? And that'll do more to their business than they've done probably in the last 5 years. High level gives you 100 things that you can do. Once you get them in on that one thing, introduce them to the next thing, introduce them to the next thing, introduce them. Now, not everybody will take all your offers, but if you have 5 of them paying you $5,000 a month, it's not too bad. That's not too bad.
And can
So
you
start
speak
using your way.
to, yeah, and then I think it's important that maybe we add some notes to the volatility of an agency book of business, the
Sure.
traditional, so the churn versus, I mean, I was just at a, I was just at a, I was just at an M&A event where these guys come in and buy agencies, and I've learned a lot last couple of days of just how they view an agency book of business. And by the way, I can't wait to share a ton of the things with all of you guys in the near future. But a SaaS agency's multiple is just, ridiculous versus a traditional agency. So what we're
Yeah.
teaching here is not just about making you a couple of $100. It's about stabilizing a exitable
Exactly.
business, right? Um, can you speak on that just for a quick second, and we'll get into some of these questions. I'm not seeing a ton of questions come in except for a couple of minor details, but I think it's an important foundation we build for the community.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about the volatility of an agency, right? A lot of people somebody will come and offer you a lot of money to help them in their business, and you'll take up, it's going to take up a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, a lot of your resources, but that's going to be your one client, okay? We can't do Jerry Maguire in this agency space. All right, we can't have one Rod Tidwell because when Rod leaves for Bob Sugarman, I'm aging myself with the Jerry Maguire movie, but when Bob leaves, or when Rod leaves for Bob Sugar, now Jerry doesn't have any clients, right, or no income coming in. So what SaaS allows you to do is have multiple clients or in doing the one thing, right? So that you have multiple people paying you recurring income every month, right? MRR, we all love that MRR, right? So now when you build up your SaaS, like you ascend it through the process, you have 25 paying customers or 50 or 100. Now you start looking real good, right? Now you start looking real good to other people. You go to somebody and say, hey, look, I have this business, this software as a service that, even though it's good, I like that recurring money. I don't want a big bag right now, right? And people look at that way better than, any other thing that like an agency where you're like, hey, we have these clients that we do some stuff for, SEO for, right? Because those people can leave any day. On the software, when they're invested in the software, when the software is running their business, it's hard for them to leave that software, right?
Absolutely.
So that's that I get that answers the question, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all about when it comes to software, it's all about stickiness of the clients. And what Damien taught you yesterday and today is really interesting because it's not just a client stickiness, it's prospect stickiness in your world, right? Just because they come into your world and they're not a client just yet, um, this is a great opportunity to implement some of the workflows that Damien taught you guys to now be able to say, you know what, every lead that comes into my business is 80% sticky. And every client that purchases after that is 90% sticky. Now you've got something, if you get to the world of, quick north of 100 or 200 clients like that in a certain industry, um, you're going to be hiring lawyers to get ready and you're going to be hiring CPAs to get ready. Because now you're seeing a bigger opportunity. Now you're going to think, okay, how, and I get this question a lot from software engineers and folks that come from the traditional SaaS world. And their, thought process is, how do I feel comfortable building tech inside someone else's house? That's a
Yeah.
fair question when it comes to high level. Now, guess what? There are plenty of companies that were built on top of Salesforce that went IPO,
Mhm.
right? That's the exact model we're talking about. So back to the workflows that Damien taught you today. It's just the beginning journey of a bigger picture that you may not even see yet for your own business, where guys like myself and Damien are seeing and giving you the heads up of like, okay, have a welcome flow, have a post-purchase flow, have a interaction and development with your customer base. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing with these is building user base stickiness and customer relationship that is so tied in where it is worth something massive for your families. Damien, some of the questions that I'm seeing here, I think maybe we can go through it and answer after the call.
Sure.
What are your final thoughts on day two? And let's set the agenda for day three and call it.
Sure. So we learned a lot today, right, guys? There's a lot packed in there. So go back and watch the replay. Put it at 1.5x to get through it quickly because I chatted a lot. But I hope you took away like this one thing can help you in your business like today, right? So um, do the work. I know it's a lot of work. You'll probably the next couple of hours you'll spend, recreating those or copying and pasting those. Do the work. If you have questions, ask. And tomorrow we're going to get into memberships. So this is where you see this is added value. So talking about what Paulson just talked about, the bigger picture and having people stay around and sticky. The membership is an easy way to add value, right? So if let's say you're a crafter and you focus on embroidery, right? You'll have a place where you can keep all of those people off of Facebook, off of, the other socials that you can provide that value for them so that they stick around longer. Make it part of, them being on a high level, your high level. We're going to talk about building that. We're going to build out a membership. And then, that'd be that. That'd be day three.
I love it. So look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. I see a few questions in here in the comments. Damien, if you don't mind, whenever you get a chance, go through it and answer a
Yeah.
couple of them. And someone's asking, let's see, which document. It's a lot of it is collateral based questions, so I don't want to waste time going through that. But either way, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And what about memberships are we gonna learn? Are you gonna like give
We're
us
going to
a
build it.
preview? Okay.
We're,
So
we're
it's
going to build it.
oh man.
Listen, we're
Okay.
talking about taking action, putting assets in place. We're going to build a membership site tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I'm excited. Thanks for joining us, guys and gals. I'll see you tomorrow, 12 o'clock New York time for those of you that are watching international. That is 12 Eastern, and we'll close out tomorrow. By the way, that offer we presented for the 30-day trial will expire. At high level, we don't do none of the fake scarcity stuff. We have a certain amount of accounts that we're allowed to essentially give away for some of these events. So we're take advantage of it. We are going to close off, and that's going to expire. So go to that link. Our team probably put the links in the comments. Find it if you don't have a high level account. Feel free to jump into a call with some of our success managers. So if you go to speakwith.us/success, you can actually talk to a live agent. By the way, Hailevel allows you to jump into a call with a human being 24/7 on a Zoom 101.
I do that a lot.
Our customer service is pretty strong. So I recommend you jump in on a call if you want to before you make a purchase and and just want to go over a couple of things. Feel free to do that. And it's not going to be a random sales pitch or anything like that. They're just going to be helping you get through it. But anyways, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.
Cool. Thanks, Jess.